In a good year, usually we are rewarded with some sort of bonus, or our business does give us some incremental profit compared to the corresponding year. But of course, this is not a good year. It's a bad year in every possible manner. So you, any which ways, do have a little bit of a cash crunch, and that gets exacerbated because you have to pay more for expenses. So I'm sure many viewers are thinking that here, we're getting a little worried because we have this health crisis as well on our heads that could engender huge, bills. So how are we supposed to remove that money for equity investment? So Karthik, where would you recommend they start off?
So, Mubina, it doesn't mean you put everything there. Like I said, health insurance is a great idea. Now, health insurance, you see, most people will do only health insurance to the extent of the tax benefit, but that's not the way to look at it. You look at health insurance for a family, at least per person having about 10 to 15 lakhs of cover. So if you're a family of 4, look at a floater policy of about 40, 50 lakhs. And companies come out with premium rates from time to time. You could also look at a situation where you buy individual policies or a floater. Choice is yours. But you need to have that 40, 50 lakh of cover, especially if you're living in a large city. That's point number one. The second point is, it doesn't matter, even if you have, this is like a moment of truth, it's a realization, right? So you start today, you will suddenly not have like a 1 crore portfolio, but you start building it brick by brick. Can you put 5,000? Can you put 10,000? It's more of a discipline that we are talking about. If you do that, then in a few years' time, you are prepared for any situation. In the last 25, 30 years that I've worked with so many people, when they started off, maybe the portfolios were 5 lakhs and they could do maybe an SIP of 15, 20,000 or a monthly direct investment to stocks, whatever it is. But when they become about 40 and when you have something like 70, 80 lakhs, 1 crore behind you, which you build over 20 years, then you're in a very different space. Your mindset is very different. Your stress level is very different. Your peace of mind is completely different from the rest of the people. So you have to start somewhere, right? So today, if you have, like you mentioned, you have a bonus, or you have a little bit of a surplus, or if you have a little bit of money in fixed deposit for that matter, why is it sitting there? There are people who believe that every year, first week of April, they must park money into PPF. So don't do that. Or if you have it, and if you finish 6 years, maybe pull out some money from there and get into equities. Look at the market. Last 1 year, it's been about 100%. And the rally is likely to go on. See, the crashes happen once in 4 or 5 years. And those crashes that happen take away your entire portfolio value by 30 to 40%. They reduce it by then. But that's not the way it's going to live forever. The markets don't end there. The world does not end there. There is a next day and a next week and a next month and a next year which is going to happen. So your portfolio will come back. So all the people who were resilient and who stayed invested through the last year saw their portfolios going down and they came back. And then they kept adding to it. So today they are far better off than they were before 2020 or before 2019. So I think the thing is, start somewhere. If you don't start, of course, you won't get anywhere. But I think the starting point is important. If you have money in unproductive assets, if you have money in unproductive LIC policies or other policies which are from private companies which are giving you about 3%, 4%, the traditional type of policies, the endowment type of policies, you could actually start surrendering them or closing them. Yes, there will be an immediate little loss, but that brings in the much needed cash flow for a better future. And therefore, those kind of adjustments need to be done. So everyone has got multiple pockets, you see, and there are some pockets which we deliberately and psychologically don't want to touch. But I think it's a time to start evaluating every single pocket that you have and then make the right decision and then move forward. So there are options. You could get into ULIPs, which are insurance-based products, which will give you tax-free returns also, and they give you the benefit of insurance and equity investment. Then there is mutual funds. There is direct equities to go to. There is peer-to-peer lending that I mentioned. There is debt funds that you can park a little bit of your contingency funds and the funds that you need for the next 6 to 8 months. So there are options and opportunities are always available. Nothing is taken away from you. But the point is you need to start. You can start with as little as 5,000, but it's going to take time and the pot will fill up at some time.